Hi everyone, this is VGO Girl, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at Order and Chaos 2 Redemption, and we're going to look at the Great Imperial Tomb Legend Dungeon, also GTL. And I'm going to look from a ranger point of view because every so often I get questions about how does a ranger run this in and keep the aggro, especially for the first boss. It's important. So we're going to go ahead and go into the dungeon, and the first thing I don't usually do anymore because I can keep aggro, but important if you are newer, go to Stunning Shot and change that to blue. That will allow you to taunt and have a shield. Not that you need the shield too much, but you do need to be able to taunt. So go up here and we're just going to gather all the mobs on each side and you kill them all. And then I usually come to the side and put down a trap, do the big shot, and then make sure to do that stunning shot every time you come up. Now the most important thing as a ranger when you are doing this dungeon, especially the first boss, is just keep moving. Do not stop. You can take a quick little pause when that little red circle comes up, but for the most part you want to keep on moving. Now this is not a great example because the monks in my group, I believe it is them, slowed the mobs, so here I get a little bit more of a break. But really you want to keep moving. You're going to have to keep moving if you're going to keep that that mob from hitting you. And here one of the monks got aggro and the boss turned and hit him. And what happens is that it spawns all these ads. So you really don't want the boss to hit anybody, which is why it's so important as a ranger to just keep moving and kite that boss around the outside of that square. Now the second thing I always do as a ranger, which this has changed a lot since the dungeon first came out, but you mount up, make sure everybody's with you, and you run on through. And what you're going to do is you're just going to grab all the mobs as you run by them and get to down the stairs, around the corner, and then just make sure that everybody has gotten past those last two mobs at the bottom. And unmount and use your sneak so that all those mobs leave, and that way you can skip all the mobs in between. This used to not be the way, but now that's the way they do it if you have a ranger in the group. Make sure to turn that stunning shot off as far as the aggro goes for this mob. Now I often do kite this mob as well. In this particular case, the monks are keeping pretty good control of it, so I don't really need to, but I'll show you kind of how I do the kiting. And here I don't mind getting hit a couple times. I try to avoid it too much because again, I'm kind of squishy, I'm a ranger, so I don't want to die. But if you look, there's that kind of diamond shape in the middle, and I just try to stay on the inside of that diamond shape. I'm just moving around a little to show you the pattern, but if I get aggro, I just keep moving. It's kind of a more constant thing. So but as you can see, if you keep in that around that diamond shape, you won't aggro those mobs on the outside and the rest of the area. One other thing to note about the second boss is if you see somebody just ran over to me and now I have this counter below me, you have a certain number of rounds if the boss targets you or another person bites you, where that timer will go down, and if it hits 0, all of your attacks will disappear and there'll be a little like bite icon, and you have to either run over to one of your teammates and bite them or target them and then bite them. Usually I don't have to target, but sometimes I do. So and then that'll get rid of the bite, and you'll be able to do attacks again, but you'll still have the counter. So eventually, if you're really slow at killing the boss, you might all die. But usually it's pretty decent, and it just takes a couple rounds. But just be aware that if you come up with a little bite icon, to go ahead and try and bite your teammates so that you can get rid of that and continue on. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it will kill you after like a couple seconds. So anyway, you're watching Video Gaming Over 40, and this is VGO Girl, and if you found this helpful, please hit like and subscribe. This is one of my favorite dungeons, so probably because all I really need is a ranger, and then you can do that. Most dungeons can't really go with a ranger as a tank. So anyway, if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.